Hello, this is Dr. Lynn Myers. I'm a specialist in interpersonal communication. Today, we're going to be discussing Emily and Nancy, two contestants that are a team on The Amazing Race, Season 1, and we're going to be focusing on episodes 5 through 10 today. We see a lot of nonverbal cues from Emily throughout the season. She tends to sigh and flap her arms in frustration when things aren't going exactly how she feels like they should go. We see this turn into a verbal frustration in episode 5 when they're trying to communicate with the cab driver, and the language barrier is quite the problem for them. She does tell the cab driver to go screw himself, which is definitely not a great way to communicate or to have successful communication skills when you're in another country. There are a lot of contaminated messages between Emily and Nancy. They don't have a clear communication about their needs and wants. There's a lot of inferencing when Emily snatches things away from her mother, or when Nancy just reluctantly hands things over to her daughter because she's very submissive with their relationship. In episode 8, we see Nancy ready to quit. She wants to ride an elephant. That's all she wants to do. She's already resigned to the fact that they probably aren't going to make it any further, but then she realizes how upset Emily is about that with Emily's body language. Again, the nonverbal cues, which mothers do tend to pick up on more than other people. Then we see Nancy convincing Emily that they can do it, that she thinks that they will make it through. They do have a back and forth relationship with the communication. It seems like one of them always does tend to play the victim. My diagnosis for them, their treatment plan specifically, would to be to work on their relationship schemata. Nancy is the mother and Emily is a daughter. But as a team, they need to treat each other as equals, which is something that they both struggle with. They need to have the hard conversations, the DTR talks about their relationship and who they are to each other in this relationship as teammates instead of a mother-daughter. Because mothers will always try to make their daughters happy, and daughters, when they get older, tend to want to buck that system and be their own individuals. They want their own identity, which is exactly what's happening with Nancy and Emily throughout these episodes. They definitely need to pause and discuss. They need to start working on sending whole messages instead of the contaminated messages that they have been sending with each other. Just having the clarifying conversations to clarify their communication skills. You know, when one of them's upset, say, "Hey, I noticed you walked away from me. Are you frustrated with me or the situation?" Or, "Hey, I saw you sighing and, leaning against the car window in the cab. Was that frustrations with our situation, or have I done something to upset you?" That would go with both ways. Emily could ask her mom the same question. "I see you have your head down and you're crying. Is it something that I said, or how can we work through this together?" Realistically, they can do anything that they set their minds to. They are a very strong pair in this race. But the stress of the race does, in fact, cause difficulties in their relationship. And we don't want that to follow into their home life once they're done with this, because this is a temporary thing and we don't want it to become a permanent ailment in their relationship as mother and daughter. I hope that clears some of it up, and I can't wait to see the rest of the episodes to see what happens next with them. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.